Alright, this is John Cola with GrowingYourGreens.com. Today we have another exciting episode for you. I'm still here in Phoenix, probably the last episode from Phoenix until actually right after this I gotta catch my plane to fly back home. But anyways, the reason for this episode today is to show you guys actually a cool way that I learned about today to grow things vertically, right? I know a lot of you guys might have yards and they might look brown like this, and maybe you're renting and you can't put raised beds on the ground because the landlord will get, freaked out or whatever. Maybe you're in a wheelchair or you're older and you can't be bending down to work a raised bed, right? Maybe you're a school teacher and you want to be able to watch your students as they're working in the garden, which is in front of them vertically, instead of actually down in the ground. I mean, there's so many reasons why a vertical garden can be so helpful. And this vertical garden I'm going to show you guys today is one of the best actually I've ever seen. So actually, let me go ahead and head down the street to show you guys this amazing vertical garden. All right, so as we walk through the property here, this is actually the front yard that was converted. They put a fence up, right? This is a good thing to do if you guys want to grow in your front yard. But yeah, check it out, man. They have a nice raised bed edible vegetable garden in the ground here. And this is one of the best ways you guys could grow food if you're able to do it. Some people aren't able to put in a raised bed for whatever reason. I mean, once again, maybe you're renting, you don't own the property or whatever. But I would encourage you guys to do that first. I mean, that's just the way to grow naturally. Man, they have lots of stuff in this garden. Because we are here in Phoenix, they built raised beds. And then actually they have a little setup above so they could put basically the reflective shade cloth over the top so things don't cook out in the summertime. And also right here, of course, they have edible trees. This one actually is moringa. And you can see the amazing moringa pods on there with the edible seeds on the inside. Also the non-ripe pods, actually like these guys right here, are totally edible. Actually, I think I gotta grab a couple before I leave. They're quite good. And the moringa is probably the #1 superfood you could easily plant here in Phoenix that you should be growing. And yeah, there's just another nice shot of the garden. But actually, I want to show you guys actually a lot of the walls. This is like a decorative wall, so it looks pretty good. But a lot of the walls here are kind of like right over there. You guys see that? That block wall. To me, that's pretty ugly. And if you look at it really closely in the video, you could see that it's been tagged and they had to paint over the tagging, and the paints don't exactly quite match. I think I see about 1, 2, 3, maybe like 4 different shades of the yellow over there, right? But there's something that you could do much better than just simply paint your wall or repaint it when it gets tagged. You can make it look even more pretty than just a standard block wall. Is you can grow food or other flowering plants on it. So here's yet another block wall. Actually, this is on the main street. It's at East Flower and 44th. But look at this wall. This wall, instead of just having the concrete blocks, they actually put these vertical planters that actually just hang in place. So even if you are renting, right, you could have a garden like this without having to modify or destroy or be putting holes and stuff. In addition, this has an automatic irrigation system that comes on only once a day, and it keeps everything watered. And so this is totally amazing. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of these. And it's really interesting, the story on actually how the inventor of this raised bed garden came up with it. So actually I want to take you guys to another garden and show you guys why this came to be. So how this vertical garden came to be is that the inventor of this vertical garden actually had his dad move in with him, and he wanted his dad to be able to garden and give his dad something to do. But the dad, can't bend down, kind of getting old. Maybe some of you guys out there kind of getting old and you don't want to have to bend down. And so then the guy looked for like, how can I grow things on a wall vertically? And there's like a lot of different options out there, but he didn't really find one that really tickled his fancy or that he thought would really work, or more importantly also looked beautiful. I mean, look at this. This looks amazing. It's just real wood, real steel, powder coated, and all the beautiful plants. And whether you want to plant ornamentals, hey, which is great, but I would encourage you guys to plant food crops, things that you guys could actually use and eat. And there's plenty of food crops that are actually ornamental. I like the red vein sorrel. That's actually quite ornamental. Sweet potatoes, another thing, very ornamental. So he basically came up with this system that he's been refining and improving on, and for his dad, so that his dad could garden. And then basically, because his wall was getting tagged, right, with like graffiti artists would tag the wall and put their graffiti on it, he decided to put some of these outside. So then he painted his wall, put these on the outside, and then with gardens growing, the taggers would no longer tag his property. So that solved a couple issues. Plus, it's beautiful, and people, you know, driving up and down this main street see this. And then they started stopping by and said, hey, I want one of the planters. And then basically he was formerly in the beauty industry. He actually got into the basically vertical raised bed garden industry by making these, by just people wanting the product that he created for his dad, so that his dad could start to grow food and have something to do. And I really like that it's just hanging. So literally this is just hanging with like little brackets. You can see some of the clips from the backside, and then they just have an irrigation system going to it, and it's just super simple, super easy. So actually, while they do have hanging models, they do have actually one on rollers. So generally the ones on rollers are actually quite expensive, and they're done for commercial installations or even schools. So let me show you guys that one next. All right, so now I want to show you guys actually the vertical garden that they have that's actually freestanding, that you don't have to attach to a wall. It basically has two sides. On one level, on one side you have 3, and on the back side, if you guys can see that, but it has a 3 on the back side as well. So this can grow a lot of food or plants in one small area, and this is great for, you know, maybe commercial businesses or restaurants, or even if you have an apartment and you want to be able to roll your plants in and roll them out in the winter, you know, or roll them into the sun, roll them out of the sun when you need to. I really like the design on these guys. You know, I mean, this is basically made with some wood, some steel. It has a custom designed plastic liner, as well as an irrigation system, you know, that is key to your success. And now, if you guys get one of these vertical gardens, I would encourage you guys to get it, and only recommend you guys get it with the irrigation system, because if you don't put an irrigation system on here, especially in Phoenix, these plants are gonna lose their life in a day or two if you forget to water, for sure. So yeah, I think it's a whole well-designed and thought-out system that he's you know, come up with now 5 years ago, that he's actually has a patent pending for. That's super smart, super intelligent. Anyways, actually I want to head to the backyard and actually share with you guys a few more of the vertical planters also, you know, how they're made, how to put them together, you know, some very basic installation instructions for you guys. For those of you guys that want to start growing vertically. So behind me, what you guys are looking at are another one of their vertical gardens, and this is actually the Flower Street Urban Garden, Urban Vertical Garden. And this is basically just a 2-level one. It's actually right underneath a nice window that they get to look out on. But as they're looking out, they get to see some nice plants coming up above. And these are some succulents. Most of these guys are actually non-edible. And the soil in here is actually dry because they're not watering it as much, because succulents don't like to have their roots wet. Literally, they just like to get drenched and then totally dry out for a while. But anyways, I always like to learn when I come to a place. I always learn something new. And this visit, I learned about these guys right here. And this is actually known as elephant food. And the elephant food, you can imagine that the elephants eat it, right? But we can also eat the elephant food. So right now I'm going to pick an elephant food leaf. And I'm going to eat it. Wow. It kind of tastes like lemony and like a tad bit sorely. It kind of reminds me of purslane, and actually it's related to purslane. And as such, it has the omega-3 fatty acids in there, which is amazing. And it's a succulent that doesn't need a lot of water. And actually, you know, I think this would be great to pick off a few leaves and put it to your salads. And so whether you want to grow the elephant food in one of these vertical gardens that you affix to a wall, or whether you want to hang it to a fence, you guys could do it. So now I want to show you guys actually how easy it is to set one of these guys up. And I think the really coolest thing about this is that you don't have to, you know, drill any holes and put holes in your walls or anything to hang one of these guys, depending on how you want to mount it, right? If you're going to mount it to a standard concrete block wall fence, it's super simple, super easy. And it's all in their specially designed brackets that they have a patent pending on right here, right? So each one of their units they sell is fully customized to your exact specifications. If you have a block wall that have 4-inch wide blocks, then they could actually make this overhang only 4 inches. If you have a wider block wall, then they could make it wider. If you wanted to drop down a couple feet because your block wall is 8 feet tall and you don't want your garden starting at 8 feet tall, they could drop it down so that there's a nice drop down, so it could start at the level that you want it to start at. So that's really cool that, you know, this customization charge is basically built into the price, so you're not paying like extra for them to customize it. It's already done for you. And so the patent pending is on actually this bracket, which is not rocket science, guys. If you guys are into metalworking and all this kind of stuff and you weld, you guys could probably make one of these, and that's why I want to show it to you guys, to let you guys know that I always want you guys to try to be your own producers instead of consumers. That being said, most of us, including me, don't have crazy welding skills and bending skills where we could actually bend it and make it look this nice, but I know some of you guys might do that. But yeah, this super simple. This is a 2 shelf level. You know, aside from hanging, if you can't hang it, that's all right. You don't have to hang this either. You know, they could put mounting holes in here, and then you could basically put a screw or a lag bolt here into the wall, into a fence, into whatever. And depending on, you know, how many bolt holes there are, this will easily just support the weight of the whole garden. And so that's really cool. But yeah, just literally take it and hang it. And then you're gonna put a few boards in there, the liner, fill it with soil, put the irrigation system on it, fill it with plants, and you're done. I mean, this is probably one of the easiest gardens I've ever seen to set up. So now I wanted to share with you guys just actually part of how easy these guys are to install. I'm not gonna get to in a whole entire installation video because I know a lot of you guys complain my videos are too long already, but I did want to show you guys, for those of you guys that are DIYers and could weld and all this kind of stuff, how to make your own if you want to, or if not, this is how you would actually assemble one if you end up buying one of these guys. Super simple, super easy. I mean, this is the beauty of this system here. This is not any kind of special wood or anything. I mean, basically what they're using here for the wood, these are like standard, you know, cedar fence posts, or fence boards, sorry. And they're just nice and thin. And they basically just slide in to the brackets. And so what they do is you slide in 2 full-size boards and then 1 partial board, and that basically just sits in there to make your nice angle. And then in the back you have 2 full-size boards, and maybe we'll pop this out here to show you guys right there. So there's 2 boards in the back, 2.5 boards on the side, and then you have this special liner right here. I mean, this is the magic, right? If you could build this, of course, without the liner, you could put all your dirt in there, then guess what's gonna happen? 2 things. Number 1, you're gonna put your dirt in there. Number 1, when you're watering stuff, the dirt's gonna just fly everywhere. It's gonna come out the bottom, it's gonna leave a mess on the ground. I mean, these guys actually could be used indoors because they have a special drip tray so that no water will even get on the ground inside your apartment, inside your house, inside a big commercial installation, inside restaurants, like they've been using these guys inside restaurants and hotels and other commercial office spaces, for example. Anyways, they have this special liner that they've designed that's using food grade materials. And what they did is, it's just a liner, and the secret of this liner is it's just not something they put in there. This is actually specifically designed to fit properly in this exact space. So there's no bunching, no crowding. And I think that's a big problem. You could probably just put a bag in here and line it, but it's gonna kind of be funky. So they actually have like this little like heat sealer machine that basically melts the plastic together to make it a nice solid, like literally bag that's gonna hold all the soil so that it doesn't leak everywhere or get everything dirty and messy. You know, this is also really smart because if you didn't put this liner in here, this wood over time will degrade because of the moisture on the wood over time. And the way they're doing it now is the moisture is contained within the liner. This is like literally a container garden in the liner, so the moisture will not get on the wood. I mean, I use this similar wood for my raised bed garden. And my original raised bed garden, some of the wood is starting to rot out now because it's the water contact on the wood. You know, even if this got rained on, you know, it would just dry back out, but it wouldn't be 100% constant water, soil, wetness that's basically causing the wood to rot out. So yeah, this liner is instrumental in making that happen. Also, this liner helps to keep the moisture, you know, within here instead of allowing it to release as easy or dissipate, especially important in dry, arid climates like here in Phoenix. But yeah, so this liner is really important. And then aside from the liner, in this liner, there's only like a few holes. There's a few slits in the bottom of the liner. This is so that when you water the plants aren't sitting in like wet, soggy soil their whole life. Would you like living underwater your whole life? Maybe if you're a fish you would, but I would not be liking to live in underwater. And the roots don't like it in soggy soil 100% of the time either. They might like it wet a little bit, but then they also like it dry. So then they basically have these little slits in here that'll allow just enough moisture out so that the soil doesn't dry out too fast, so that here in Phoenix in the summer you could water it once a day, literally, but also it keeps it dry enough as well. So, and then what they do is they have these little flaps here, which, and you know, this flap, if you're looking at John, that stuff looks like that, like like a shelf liner that I use in my kitchen. Well, that's what it is. This stuff is not rocket science. You guys can go out and buy this yourself. And basically they staple this to the bottom piece of wood on the bottom, and then they hang this down. And basically this is just so that when the holes in the bottom of the liner let the water go through, the water just actually drips into the next bed. So now it just basically it cascades down to each bed. Now this is not the primary method. This system gets water. That's just to keep the water directed and let gravity take it down so that you don't get, excess water in any major bed. The main way this is watered, although that is a secondary way, the main way this watered is through the irrigation system that I haven't gotten to show you guys yet. But anyways, yeah, so you basically just put all these blocks in here, all the boards. You put your liner in, and it needs to be lined up better. I'm not properly setting it up like I should be. But then you just take these end caps, right? You take the end cap that's faced really nice with the wood, and on the inside for added stability and protection, they have a piece of plywood here. You basically just put this in the end, adjust it, and let's see here if I can do this properly. You basically got to just sit it upright and pop it in, and then it's just gonna, I didn't pop it in properly because I'm probably supposed to lift up on this at the same time I'm doing that. Here, I think I could do it. All right, I can't do it. Oh, there we go. All right, so that pretty much kind of gets it in, and then it's an optional step actually to screw this in if you want to, so that holds in place. That being said, this is basically held in because it's actually so tight in there, held by gravity. And actually I kind of like that it's actually loose so that you could actually pull it out anytime, and you could service this if you want to take out the liner to replace the soil or do something. Normally when it's being assembled, you would set this all liner up like maybe this guy right here, and you would put like a 1 cubic foot of soil down in here and get everything set up to exactly how you want to make sure there's no bunching in your liner, and then it'd be all ready, and you get this wood assembled and aligned properly, and then you could go ahead and put the second cubic foot in here, and then basically I'd put the irrigation in and then plant your plants out. So each one of these levels hold 2 cubic feet of soil. So that's how much soil it is, but then the growing space is how much the depth is versus the width. So here's the thing. On a 3-tier system, of this vertical garden will grow more food than a 4-foot by 4-foot raised bed system, right? So now you're not even taking up space on the ground, you're growing all vertically. And the cooler thing, this is my favorite one, if you're gonna get a vertical kit, like you wanna try to get your kit as many levels as you can. As long as you're tall enough to reach that top level, you're good to go. Or like I like to say, good to grow. The 5-tier kit actually holds almost as much, you could grow almost as much food as you could in a 4-foot by 8-foot garden. Man, that's a huge garden that now literally you could grow that much food on a wall. No matter where you guys live, as long as you got a nice wall that gets some good sun. But even if you don't have good sun, you guys could still grow on a wall. And let me show you guys how to do that next. So check it out right behind me there. Oh my God, this is like the biggest vertical vegetable garden installation I've seen in my entire life. It's totally amazing. You guys see that? Like that's all like 5 tiers of herbs and edible crops, including tomatoes and basils and lettuce and Swiss chard and yeah, all kinds of different stuff growing in there. Yeah, so it's basically 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 levels, and it runs 18 feet long along this the back of the house. I don't know if you guys can see on the top, there's an overhang even, right? And the overhang could be a good thing because especially in the middle of the summer, right? In the middle of the summer, the sun will come and hit the overhang and it won't hit the plants directly. It'll get indirect sunlight. And then depending on the angle of the sun, the levels on the top will help shade out the level below just enough to allow them to grow properly and also to not evaporate too much moisture in this exact situation. So that's totally amazing. And the other thing is that this is 18 feet of 5 tiers combined, put together. These systems are customizable. Just because they sell a standard 6-foot wide kit doesn't mean you have to do it in 6 feet. If your space is 4 feet wide, you can order a 4-foot wide kit. If you guys have 50 feet long fence that you want to put this on, you could order enough material to do a 50 long wide foot fence and have so much food growing in your backyard. It's completely insane. But this looks totally amazing. This is basically the wall that I'm seeing here right here would be the equivalent of approximately 3 4-foot by 8-foot raised beds in the soil. And that to me is definitely a lot of food. Actually, they're out here a little bit earlier harvesting some tomatoes for their lunch. So now I want to share with you guys some of the amazing growth they're getting here, maybe a little bit about the irrigation. But you know, the growth they're getting here is not necessarily because of their Flower Street urban vertical garden. It's because of the soil mixture. So whether you get this gardens, vertical garden setup, or whether you're starting a raised bed, I always encourage you guys to source the best soil and put the right amendments in your soil. If you buy this nice setup, this vertical garden setup, if you go to Home Depot and you buy most bag soils at Home Depot, and you're like, John, I couldn't grow anything, I bought that vertical garden, but all my plants turned yellow, that's because the soil you're buying is junk. It's not good. The only one that I'd recommend in any kind of large scale big box store is the Dr. Earth potting soil, but even then I would like to amend it and add other things to it. You know, that being said, a local nursery could help you guys out a long way to help you guys find good soil, or even better yet, like a local soil yard or a place that makes compost. But especially when filling these beds or this style garden, it's very important. You must get potting soil mixture. You can't put like a garden soil mixture in here. You want to get a good quality potting soil mixture. Actually, to be honest with you guys, a good quality potting soil mixture is no closer or further away than your local hydroponic store. You know, those guys that are growing cannabis are growing basically in pots to be like on the underground or on the down low, right? But they actually have some good quality potting soil in most hydroponic stores. That being said, it also could get quite pricey. But many of the potting soils, unfortunately, in my opinion, don't have enough organic matter. They're like a soilless potting mixture. So I would want personally a good percentage of compost, well broken down compost, hopefully from fresh fruits and vegetable scraps and yard waste, mixed in with my potting soil mixture to provide nutrients for my plants in an organic fashion. Anyways, you can see here they got some Swiss chard that's doing quite well here. Oh, and here I'm even here in January in Phoenix, and look at this. I mean, they have tomatoes out in their garden, and if I flip the camera around, you would see it what I'm looking at right now. Their tomatoes in their garden got burned because they had one day that got a little bit cold. Meanwhile, their tomatoes that are against their house, right against the wall that's protected, that stays warmer, has fresh little cherry tomatoes on. And so I think actually, well, this is actually technically my second tomato of the year because I did have one in Las Vegas. Wow, it's quite good. Hits the spot, man. I can't wait until I have fresh tomatoes in my garden. And if you guys have one of these kits, maybe you guys grow some fresh tomatoes too. So while the Flower Street Urban Garden doesn't normally include the irrigation system, if you guys watch the end of this episode, I have a special coupon code for you guys for a special discount, but you also will get a irrigation system included in with your purchase, and this is paramount. Like if you guys are going to get one of these systems, you must also get the irrigation system to go along with it. That's why I talked to Alex and I made a special deal for you guys to include that irrigation system so that you guys can be successful, because above all else, I want you guys to start growing something, and especially growing some of your own food for you and your family. And I want to explain a little bit of the irrigation system here to you guys today. I won't get into anything super complex, but it's super simple. Basically what they use is this. They have some what I call spaghetti tubing or 1/4-inch tubing with built-in drip emitters that basically are every 6 inches. So on every level except the top level, they basically just have one line of this for the width or the depth, of the bed here. Except on the top level, they basically have 2 lines just to make sure there's enough water, kind of doing that trickle-down effect, which is the secondary source of the way this each level gets watered. And you could pump this into your standard irrigation system, or probably easily, and what I'd recommend is actually just hooking it up to a standard faucet hose end timer setup. My hose end timer I can control actually with my iPhone wherever in the world I am, and provided I have a Wi-Fi connection, so that's really nice. In addition, they have been experimenting with something like this. This is actually called the Precision Soil Sensor by Toro, and this is a wireless soil sensor that detects the moisture levels in the garden here, and if it's dry, then it tells the controller to turn it on automatically. So I really honestly think that this is the future of gardening. It's not like garden by minutes and just we think up, John, how much should I water? Oh, water it for 5 minutes. Well, it depends how much to water based on your specific location, the climate at that time of year, the plants you're growing, the soil sensors could do a lot to help people not have to worry about how much to water, because it'll actually sense the soil moisture level and water appropriately provided. It's programmed properly. So I really look forward to the day where there's a lot more soil sensors available in the marketplace, so that people could start watering more intelligently. And I mean, literally setting up the irrigation is just laying out the tubing, connecting it to the water source that is on a timer, and everything's watered automatically for you. And in my opinion, automatic irrigation is the only way you guys should have a garden, whether it's vertical or even in the ground. So you guys just learned about that amazing vertical garden, how it is assembled, how you could grow in it, and how easy really the irrigation system is to put in. And I know if you guys are interested, you'll check the link down below and hit up the website, and you'll start seeing the prices. And the prices, when I heard about how much they were, I'm like, well, that's a little bit expensive. But if you think about the time, labor, and effort that's put in to the designing and making each particular unit by hand, and that this is literally like a home-based business. This is not some big manufacturing company where they're getting stuff made in China and shipped over and all this kind of junk. This is all made actually right here in Arizona. The steel is welded up. They get it powder coated here in Arizona. They custom cut all the wood in this backyard workshop of the owner's home, actually, which is totally amazing. And so it's all made right here. So, you got to pay for quality. And I know a lot of you guys want to support American jobs, American businesses. This is 100% American owned and American made products, right? And even more than that, right? What's really cool is that this business is helping to create other businesses around the country. Maybe you guys hate your job, right? Maybe you've been looking into a way that you could start making more money by helping people grow more food. The owner here, besides just selling the gardens to people that want to install them themselves, will help people start their own business by becoming a dealer in your area. Even if you just have a little garden in your backyard, you could become a dealer for these guys. They'll do a lot of the training for you to teach you guys how to go around and sell them, how to have a demonstration garden like they do here that'll stop traffic, literally, hopefully not cause any accidents, and get people to want to buy the product. And then you can go in and do the installs for people. You could help them set it up and put in the right soil and the right plants so that they could be successful in your area. And then, of course, you get a commission or a cut of the sale on that. So not only are you making a cut of percentage on when you sell a product, but you're also making the installation fee. So actually, I learned that to install one of those guys without even filling the soil in or planting any plants cost $100 in the local area. I'm like, man, I could set one of those up. I maybe got to figure out how to knock in the boards a little bit better, but that's super simple, super easy. And then you could do an upcharge for charging people for the soil you're bringing in and charging them for the plants, and then they could basically have a turnkey system. And some of the places that have been buying this system for the most part, I mean, geez, this system is actually on the stadium here in Phoenix for one of the sports teams. I don't know what team it is or whatever. But it's, and they also install these guys in restaurants, and a lot of restaurants want to be more green and grow their own food. This is probably the easiest way that I've ever seen for them to do it in a nice, clean, and easy manner. I mean, as I said, this guys could also be installed indoors as well. So yeah, I totally admire the owner here that created this system for his dad at the beginning originally, and now it's offering it to people because he saw the need and people really liked it and started stopping by to ask him, hey, where did you get that? And he says, I make them. And then he started making them for people. And now he's just grown his business more and more so that more people could grow more food. And I think this is totally amazing. So anyways, what I want to do last in this episode is actually I want to sit down with Alex, the owner here, and talk to him more about the vertical garden that he's created. So now I have the pleasure of introducing to you guys Alex Billingsley, the designer and creator of the Flower Street Urban Garden, which is that vertical garden. Actually, you see another one of them behind me. I mean, I wish this was my house. He has lots of stuff growing in all these vertical gardens on basically any section of wall on the back of his house that's available. He's growing on it, right? And so this wall is probably my favorite because it has all the greens. And look at my shirt. It says, growing your greens. I want you guys to grow and eat your greens. These are the most important foods on the planet. Now I want to include herbs in with the greens. And that's what he has here. Arugula and kale and lettuce and all kinds of cool stuff happening. Oh, even like I saw some mint and some basil up there. So, but anyways, aside from that is, I want to ask you some questions today, Alex. So the first question I have for you is, how did you even come up with this idea and why did you come up with it in the first place?
It really came out of love for my father. My father moved in with us about 5 years ago, and I wanted to create a hobby for him. He's a retired disabled vet, and I decided I had a perfect wall to do a vertical garden on, something that he wouldn't have to bend over. I talked to my wife about it. She said I could as long as it looked good. My background's in design, and so this is what I came up with in the matter of a few weekends of really working on it, thinking through all the problems and challenges that could occur with vertical gardens, and that's really how it took off.
Wow. And then at some point, I guess you decided to put some of these vertical gardens like on your wall that lines the street. So why did you do that?
I did that to get noticed. We're on a very busy street, and I decided, you know what? I thought it was crazy. That wall got tagged all the time. I'd have to call graffiti hotline to paint over it, and I decided, you know what? I'm going to try to make the world a more beautiful place. Put some gardens out there. It hasn't gotten tagged since. Knock on wood. And it's something that we're very fortunate. At this point in our life that we're on that busy street, that we could put something out there. The city loves it, the community loves it, and it's just trying to make the world a more beautiful place.
Awesome. So how long have you actually been running the business and actually selling these vertical gardens to others?
Right now we're at 5 years that we've actually started the garden behind us. This was the very first garden that I designed.
Oh, right behind me, right
yeah.
here. This is the first one.
This is the very first one. And then it was probably about 6-8 months later, we put them out on the street. So we've been selling them for about 4 years, and we flat pack and we've shipped all over the country. So it's been a really fun process.
Cool. So, I encourage you guys to grow the vegetables and other edible plants in there. But Alex, what can you grow inside one of these vertical gardens that you've created?
Well, I think because of the depth of them, there's 12 inches of soil depth, so the easier question is what you wouldn't grow in it. Because what you can grow in it is pretty much anything that you could grow in any other container or a raised bed. You do want to think about it a little bit different if you're planting, say, for instance, tomatoes that are indeterminate. If you're getting like one of our standard 6-foot wide units, I recommend placing those up high on the edges so they'll just trail down. If you put them in the center, they can crowd out plants below it. So you do want to think about the positioning of the plants because you are growing vertical and how things are going to lay. But with the angle of them, the plants will just shoot up and grow out, say for instance like your char. But we grow root vegetables in these as well. You can grow turnips and carrots, beets. You can grow pretty much anything in them.
So has anybody used these to grow the cannabis or the medicinal cannabis?
I can't say.
All right. So let's talk about some of the installations you've done. So I know many homeowners have wanted one of these in their house, but you've also sold them to restaurants and the stadium locally. What are some of the installs and things that you've done and sold these to that just were surprising to you?
I think, really with the school gardens, by being able to put them in schools where we can start educating young people, getting them at a young age to be able to understand how food is grown, the importance of the soil, the earth that we walk on. I think that's been really fun. I think the other thing is we have a big installation at the Veterans Hospital here in Phoenix, and they do therapeutic gardening out of it. They're handicap accessible, which is one of the things that as I was putting this together, I hadn't really thought of, but with the good universal design, pretty much anybody can access these gardens. You can roll right up to them in a wheelchair, and my dad now is using a walker, and he's able to go up to it with his walker, sit down, and be able to be active in the garden. And it's just a way to keep your spirits up. We all have that connection with food and growing and plants, and there's just something about it that helps us in our lives.
Wow, and I think it's amazing for people in apartments or wherever you are. If you don't have space or you're renting, you can't put in a garden, you could just hang one of these guys. So, that's totally amazing. So, aside from hanging them and bolting them in, are other people mounting them in different ways?
Yeah, we've put those in, people will put just posts in the ground to do a freestanding wall to screen off say pool equipment or an air conditioning unit. We've had a landscape architect designed and used our system to create an outdoor shower. So there's a lot of different applications that I never would have thought of. And when you put something out there like that, and people will come up with their own ideas of how they can use it aesthetically in their own ways. But putting them indoors has been a really fun application. We have our mobile gardens as well that we have businesses here that grow wheatgrass in trays on these mobile gardens, and the employees can juice fresh wheatgrass in the mornings when they get to work.
Wow, amazing. So next, Alex, the question I have for you is, what could go wrong when you set up one of these guys, and how could one of my viewers, if they choose to buy one of these systems, avoid that?
What can really go wrong is too much water. Just like any other time we're growing is just killing things with kindness. So setting them up to the irrigation systems, I think, is really ideal. If you're, maybe retired, you've got a lot of time to tend to the garden. But in particular, when you're dealing with potting soil, the top layer of the soil can look very dry. You need to move it a little bit, stick your finger in there, use the soil sensors like we use to make sure that you're not over-watering it. The other problem is some applications, if they hook it into an existing drip irrigation that is maybe watering trees and things like that, it's going to go on way too long. So the sweet spot seems to be between 7 and 10 minutes, depending on the microclimate that you put them in. So that's all the water that's going to be needed, and that equates to roughly a gallon of water per 6-foot section is all it takes.
Wow. So, I think probably one of the coolest things for me is looking at this garden is that it's really pretty, right? This is just a beautiful garden. It's not like a garden like my girlfriend doesn't like a lot of gardens because they kind of look untaken care of, but this looks just beautiful up on the wall. It's just real wood that you're seeing, the wood. Oh, let's talk about, is the wood finished, or can people finish it and do things to that? And what's the best natural coloring that you recommend?
Well, they can really be colored anyway. We've had people paint these in really bright colors for their decor. But what I personally like is that Mother Nature's actually treated the wood. It's Western red cedar, so it's naturally pest resistant. It doesn't tend to rot like regular softwoods do. But if you are going to treat it, I like more of a natural finish with it, and I personally like the boiled linseed oil. It's basically like a cooking oil. It's really safe to work with, but it doesn't matter what you choose to finish it with. If you do choose to do that, you don't need to worry about that getting into the soil because of the food grade liner, so nothing's going to leach into the soil.
Awesome. Yeah, I would never paint one of these guys. I might put some linseed oil actually so that you could it accentuates the wood. Or, if I wanted to be a little more protected, I would use a product called Eco Wood. If I remember, I'll put a link down below. That's a really simple process. It's a mineral-based product, so that your wood will stay better or fresher for longer. All right, Alex. So, are these guys really that hard to assemble? I kind of showed it and I struggled a little bit with it. But, can anybody assemble this? Let's put it that way.
Really, anyone can assemble it. For the standard hanging ones, all you are required as far as a tool is a tape measure to space the brackets and the boards to make sure they're even from one side to the next. And we have a really short video on our website. If you click on the YouTube button, it'll take you to a video tutorial of how to assemble the gardens. But typically, like a 3-tiered garden, it's going to take someone, once you find your tape measure, it's going to take you about 20 minutes to put everything together. And then I think the key thing is the liners. John had mentioned the liners earlier, but really what you want to do is fill it about halfway and then adjust the liner. Make sure that it's even from side to side. It's fully raised up in the front and the back, and then go ahead and put your remaining soil in it. We get a lot of questions about how often you should change the soil, and we don't really recommend you have to change the soil a lot. We do in these gardens what I know a lot, like John and other experts recommend, is no-till gardening. We'll cut things off, leave the soil undisturbed, because even in these gardens behind us that, the top of that's like almost 7 feet off the ground, we'll still find earthworms and stuff in there. So I don't know how they get up there. They could come in pots or something like that, but they get up there. And so you don't want to disturb the soil. So when the soil volume drops, what we recommend you doing is just topping it off with your good, organic, hopefully homemade compost. That's what you want to be doing, is just adding it with compost and keeping it where the soil level is to the top of the liner. The only thing that really breaks that liner down is exposure to UV light. There's probably no place on earth that gets more intensity of UV than we do here in Phoenix, and the liners, as long as they're full of soil, there's just not a problem with them.
Wow. So the other thing that I think that really impresses me about you, Alex, is that, I mean, you're the owner of the company. You handle everything. Like in my company, I handle all the customer service, and people are surprised when John Kohler calls them up because they're dealing with me and my company. But so if somebody had a problem with one of the units they bought from you guys, I mean, would they call a number in China or something, or to get customer service, or who would they call?
No, the number that's on all of our information, it's my wife's cell phone number. She handles all the orders. She takes all the orders. And if anything, if there's a technical question that she can't handle, it goes right to me. And I'll call you back. Or she'll just hand the phone over to me. So we're a family-owned company, started from wanting to help a family member to live a happier, healthier life, and it's created something and taken us on a new journey and new chapter in our life. So when you call Flower Street Urban Gardens, you're talking to a family-owned business.
Wow, that's amazing. And these are the businesses that I want you guys to support in your lives as much as possible. I know the pricing's a little bit high for what it is, but you're getting support behind it, and you're getting 100% American-made product, and that's super important to me. I know the prices are a little bit expensive for when I saw them, but if you think about the time, effort, and money put in to produce these products and get them out to you, and what you could grow in them, and how this could literally change your life by being able to start you growing some food, I definitely think it's worth it. But that being said, I've negotiated with Alex here some special discounted pricing, and actually that special irrigation kit that he's going to throw in only for my viewers because you guys have watched to this point with the special coupon code GYG. So Alex, what are you going to include for people that use that special code on your website, or give you guys a call and say, hey, I saw you on John Kohler GYG?
You're going to get the irrigation set up for inside the unit. Now you're still going to have to hook that to your irrigation system that you may already have, or add that, or you can hook it to a hose bib. And those timers are great. They're super easy. Plus, we're going to be doing 20% off of our prices that you'll see on our website. So use that code and take advantage of the 20% off, because that's a significant savings.
Wow, yeah, and I really told them, like, I want a good discount for my people, because, I mean, I believe in this product. It's American-made, good quality, just metal and steel, and it's going to help you guys grow more food at home, and that's what I'm all about, is helping you guys grow more food. And this started out by Alex wanting him to get his dad to become healthier and being able to garden and do something, and look, now he's helping literally the world grow more food vertically in actually a nice, decorative, and even beautiful way, in my opinion. So Alex, if somebody wants to get this deal, order from you guys, what's your websites and all your information so somebody could do that?
You can go onto our website, which is flowerstreeturbangardens.com. Go to the shop there. You'll see all of the different products that we have. And if you have a specific application that you don't think our product is going to work for, or maybe it needs to be altered, we custom make all of these products. So they're easy to customize, and we're great at problem solving. So if you have a question before you order, just give us a call and we'll be able to take care of all that for you.
Awesome, that's great. Yeah, and I'll put links down below in the description to their website. You can learn more about it. So Alex, before we go today, do you have any final comments or words of wisdoms or things you'd like to share with my viewers today?
I think really just get out there and grow, make the world a more beautiful place, a healthier place, and help other people too. That's really what we're here for, is to help people. And I think that's my mission. I know that's your mission as well. So that's what we're trying to do, is making the world a more beautiful place, one vertical garden at a time.
Awesome. I think you're doing a great job at that. This is one of the best vertical gardens that I've seen. I mean, I've been to trade shows and all these different things, but this is simple, easy. I mean, I really like that it actually hangs, and hopefully maybe soon I'll get one of these vertical gardens hanging on my back wall in Vegas to be growing. We're in a place where it gets full sun to really put it to its test, to make sure that it actually doesn't dry out, and see how much kind of good growth I could get real soon. So if you guys are interested in learning more about the Flower Street Urban Vertical Garden that I had the pleasure of showing you guys today, please, once again, be sure to check the links down below for that. If you guys enjoyed this episode, hey, please be sure to give me a thumbs up. That'll encourage me to come back and make another video with Alex, whether it's maybe here, or maybe he's gonna come up and visit me in Vegas and install my own vertical garden in my backyard, which would be totally amazing. Also, be sure to share this video with somebody else that might want to be able to garden, but they want to do it on a wall, or they don't have space to do it in the ground. This is probably one of the best solutions that I've ever seen. Also, be sure to click that subscribe button right down below so you don't miss out on any of my new and upcoming episodes that are coming out about every 3 to 4 days. You never know where I'll show up or what you'll be learning about on my YouTube channel. Finally, be sure to check my past episodes. My past episodes are a wealth of knowledge. Over 1,300 episodes at this time. Teach you guys all ways you guys can grow more food, healthy food at home. So with that, my name is John Kohler with growingyourgreens.com. We'll see you next time. And until then, remember, keep on growing.